start sharing my screen. Can the host please enable the screen sharing because it's disabled right now? Guys, can you see my screen? I think so. Anyways, today we're basically going to go through the toolbar once again and see everything that. Actually, I'll just do it on this and go through everything once again. Like, alright, so I'm sure you guys know what the selection tool is. I'll just draw an object. First of all, anyways, guys, so basically the first tool, which is, wait, let me make it a brighter color so you guys can see. Yeah. Okay, so this is the selection tool. It say whenever you press it, you can choose different objects, whatever that you guys have made. You can like drag it, etc. So basically, this is a tool that's literally used throughout the entire process because obviously you need to choose different objects and then take it from there. अच्छा now this is the direct selection tool. इससे ये जो आपके points हैं ये choose होते हैं and where you want to take it. It's again like changing the position of the object. उसके लिए है direct selection tool. Then we move on to the pen tool. Pen tool is basically just you can draw things from it. ये वो pen tool is mostly used in tracing other objects. For example, if you're making someone's portrait on Illustrator, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna use the pen tool, or for example ये picture है इधर, and you're just outlining the eyebrows, for example. So we will just start outlining like this. अभी तो color fill हो रहा है because I've used the color fill in the box, that's why. Otherwise, this is just how you can basically, this tool allows you to make different objects and like with whatever measurements you guys want. So that's basically it. I'm just randomly making, I don't know, but yeah, this is just, I just wanted to show you guys. अच्छा okay, anyways, ये हमारा, और फिर अगर इसको मैंने कहीं हटाना है, मैंने इसकी शेप बड़ी करनी है, I will go on the selection tool and I will take it from there. Just put this aside over here. Anyways, now next is the curvative tool. Yeah, curvation tool. इससे basically होता है कि, for example, if I want to make a circle, it's really good with circles because, or कोई भी other, for example, okay, for example, we're making a flower, we're making a rose, तो उसके अंदर there are a lot of curves, so tab you will use the curvative tool. I'll just make a circle for you guys. Yeah, here you go, I've made a circle. It's fine if the circle is not as big as you want it to be, you can always change the measurements, yeah, etc. So that's pretty simple, that's there. Guys, if something isn't clear, you guys can just let me know. I'll just change the color of this to red, color to blue. Yeah. Okay. So, acha, this tool, इसके ऊपर usually when you open it, wait a second. Anyways, so that's basically how you do it. Guys, can you just give me 5 minutes? Sorry guys. Anyway, so if we look at this, usually when you open up Illustrator, so mostly people just think okay, there's just this rectangle tool. But if you hold it, like if you just hold it for like 1 second, so these 5 other options pop up as well. So you can choose, for example, this one, if you want to make something circle B. Here we have this one. I'm just gonna draw shapes and this tool is like really important as well when you're making something that's super detailed and you need to, you want all the objects to have this like the same measurements and stuff, so it's really good. Or yeah, this is just a line segment for drawing lines, straight lines, whatever you guys want. Just gonna put all these shapes aside. Acha, again, you can change the size, etc. from size. वो तो I think everyone's aware about it. Acha. Now the next one is where were we? Yeah. Acha, so this is the paintbrush tool. This is used when you're making like something from scratch. Like for example, you're making a portrait, you're making a landscape, whatever. You guys can use this. मैं zoom in करके दिखाती हूँ. For example, I want to make a ball, like a football. So I'll just do like an eyeliner. So we just do this. Pretty simple. ठीक है, ये आप, and it's actually like it's. I think you just need to get the hang of it twice or thrice. I barely use the paintbrush tool, but that's there. And इसके ऊपर लाइन मैंने क्या करनी है. For example, चलो मैं आपको करके दिखाती हूँ. I want this to be like there, then I want something over here, destroyed. Then it's also really good with shading, and you can always obviously change the color by going here. I'll go through the colors all again. That's how you can. ठीक है. Okay, so guys, this is basically it for the pen tool. I hope you guys understand. Um, Acha, this is the type tool. I went through this in the last session as well. You can basically, for example, I'm gonna write session 7 in this box that I've drew. So basically, I'm gonna use the selection tool to put it in position. I want it. Actually, I'm just gonna put it here and over here. And for the font, obviously you can go to sizes, whatever you want, just double click, or in this whole menu thing is going to show up. It's kind of sizes here, then there are like fonts. I use these recent fonts, but yeah, they're like a lot of fonts, or it's kind of bold, light, whatever. And also if your spellings are wrong, for example, I'll just write. अच्छा, spellings we check. You can check your spellings, auto spell check, etc. So you can also create outlines. I will show you how to create outlines as well. Actually, wait. अच्छा हाँ, outline से basically ये होता है that otherwise when you write something, it's all like grouped in one, like it's just like one entire, like when you select it तो सारा select होता है. But when you what do you say? Yeah, when you join them together, so like obviously they like group together तो इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं, और फिर जब आप ungroup करते हो तो you can change letters separately. For example, ये अब letter is different, ये अकेला letter है, ये अकेला letter है. I can also change the color, like the color situation there. Okay, here you go. So it's basically that's not, it's super simple. Nothing really like extra anything. अच्छा, अब this is the rotate tool. For example, मैंने ये choose किया है. एक second. Why is this not working? Sorry guys. I'll come back to this in a minute. लेकिन this is basically rotate tool. I don't know why it's not working. This is the ये वाला जो मैंने choose किया हुआ है, ये eraser है. Then there's again when you double click it, two options are going to open. इसको भी आप double click करते हो तो three options open. Then here scale tool, reflect tool. अच्छा हाँ, so basically what this is कि for example, if you're making something, if you're making a landscape which involves of a sea or like a beach and there is a reflection, तो तब आप reflect tool use करते हो. और फिर जो आपका main landscape होता है, for example the water, you want that to reflect to the other side. So what you're going to do is you're going to make the upper जो main आपका painting whatever that you've made your illustration, जो reflection वाली side होगी, you can always change the opacity and stuff and you can make it look a lot more realistic. Scale tool is basically making everything to scale, and if you're doing it on an A4 sized sheet तो फिर आपको options आ जाती हैं. Yeah, so scale tool is basically to make sure that everything is in proportion. So that's there. And I've never really used share tools, so I'll just try it out and see what this does. So I really don't know how to use this. अच्छा, now we have the eraser tool. इससे आपने जो भी नहीं, you don't want this here, you can just erase it, whatever. We have the scissors tool. Okay, so guys, you see, scissors tool से basically ये होता है. For example, I can just do this again for you. You can basically cut it up in whatever position you want. इसका बस ये होता है कि you have to make sure कि आपने किधर क्या करना है. For example, if I press it over here, let me just change it. Scissors. You just have to make sure that all the points are like together. That's literally it. There's there, and then I want to cut this. I want this to go here. This there. So yeah, that's basic. Scissor tool isn't like used a lot, but I guess some people do use it. So that's it. अच्छा now this is a shape builder tool. इसमें basically आपने, for example, if you want to make like a huge building or anything, तो वो आप इस तरह कर सकते हो. Basically it helps you build shapes and stuff. That's it. It doesn't do anything extra. Gradient tool. Gradient tool, I went over this in the previous session as well. It basically allows you to make. It basically allows you to create like आपकी मर्जी के shades in a certain object, and then you just go in the coloring वाली जगह gradient, for example. Let me change this to this. I can change the shading and everything from here, and then and you have, the best part is you have like three different what do you say, three different types of gradients. One starts in the middle, ये side वाला है, और ये वाला is also just like this one, so there isn't a cost difference. But yeah, that's their mesh tool. अच्छा, इससे basically it just shows you how many आपने इसको change करना है. For example, take this here, I want to take this there, whatever. It's just for making sure कि आपकी sub directions and all किधर हैं and all that stuff. Now this is just the eyedropper tool. I'm sure you guys have seen it. ये आप basically choose करते हो कोई भी color. For example, I want it to be red अंदर से, so it allows you to have the shading effect. Like पहले इतना अजीब लग रहा था, now it looks good. Then for example, if I want to do this, हम इसको mesh tool से choose करेंगे इसको. And then I'm going to use the eyedropper for the cheese, and I'm going to give it the same effect that we did on the other one. ये yellow हो गया. Now I want to get rid of it. It's basically, the mesh tool allows you to make those details. For example, you want to give something a 3D look, आपने उसका अंदर you basically want to show the inside and stuff, so here it is. You basically use the mesh tool. It's a bit confusing in the beginning, so I'll just do it with this. इसको हम इधर ले जाते हैं. If you, for example, if you want to make a swirl, okay, inside you want to make a swirl, और इधर से इसको करेंगे, इसको यहाँ करेंगे. दोबारा से, to change the color, we're gonna go on the eyedropper वाली चीज, and I will use a white this time. So basically, so yeah, this is like a great example because there are a lot of layers inside, which are connecting the entire object together, connecting dots. So that's better. With ये वाला tool है, it's basically just allows you to see कि इस box के अंदर, for example, if you're comparing this box with this star. Let me just bring this. Actually, I'll just use this ball. Um, so basically इस tool से you can just see the, you know, इसके साथ कितना what's the proportion, how much space do you have, वो सारी चीजें. So that's there. Then we have the blend tool. Blend tool अभी इसके अंदर नहीं use होगा, लेकिन again it's used in sceneries. It can be used while making a poster. It can be used. I think ये ज़्यादा detail में Hamza will tell you in the next session because he will be creating a poster from scratch. So you guys will have a lot of detail, but the blending tool is really important, especially when you're making portraits, because portraits में आपका जो blend tool होता है वो बहुत use होता है, especially for the face, the shading and all that stuff, because the blend tool allows, sorry, okay, so I was saying this tool is basically, the blend tool is basically used mostly in portraits or चीजें जिसके अंदर you're mixing up 2 to 3 shades and you want it to, you know, turn out to be like look nice and not be like different के ये एक shade इधर से आ रहा है. So it basically allows you to mix different shades together to create one shade, which is also a really nice effect. Moving on, this is the artboard tool. I went about, like, the last session was entirely about artboards, so I don't think I'll have to go this again, but I can still like recap about it. Artboards are basically, for example, this is one artboard. जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा layers और बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ों पे काम कर रहे होते हो on one certain project, so you create different 2 to 3 artboards and then you can just combine them or you can let them stay the way they are. So that's just, if you guys want to know more about it, then I did the previous session was entirely about output. So zoom tool इससे basically बस जितना आपने zoom in करना है, that's it. और this is basically the fill and stroke one. This is basically like you know how sometimes you fill an object, for example this object has been filled with yellow color. So if you don't want any filling, कोई stroke नहीं, so you can just press this and it's gonna like disappear. And this is basically, ये जो पहला वाला है ये color का है, second वाला जो है, second, that is for gradient. So अच्छा, also about this, when you want to like color grade an object with different shades, तो आप ऐसा करोगे, first of all you're going to use the selection tool, you're going to choose the object and open the color wala this panel and just choose whatever colors you want to be like this shade. और फिर उसके बाद basically you can just take it from there. So I'm just gonna. So obviously everyone, I think, was get what I mean so far. They can, yeah, that's how you do it. So I'm just gonna like quickly recap everything that we covered in this session. So basically, we went through. Alright, so guys, I'm just gonna do a quick recap of everything we did in this, like we covered in this session. We went through all the bar tools in detail. I went over the artboards in a bit, like not in a lot of depth, but like cover ho gaye hain. Uh, then I went through the color grading and the color, like normal coloring. Or I think the highlight of this one was the mesh, using the mesh tool, creating more depth in an object. Especially for this one, I really like how this turned out to be, and this one as well. So that's all about it. I hope you guys understand, and yeah, guys, if you have any other questions, you can always write them in the chat box. So. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you guys learned something, and take care. Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.